Home again at last. Now we'll give the dragon tonic to Norbert.
Let's feed this dragon.
We've done it, Harry. Norbert is well again.
Fantastic.
Thank goodness, I was so worried.
Me too, man.
I'm glad he's better.
You were so worried that you couldn't even get the ingredients
He's old
yourself,
enough
or
to
the
leave the
money.
nest and fend for himself now. He'll want to go off on his own now, the wee soul, but I want to keep him here so I can look after him.
Oh, Hagrid, you're just so protective and so lovely. Also, that bit's not as it is in the book or the film, but we'll find out what happens.
Harry, Ron and Hermione spent most of their free time in Hagrid's hut, trying to convince him that he couldn't keep Norbert, his beloved dragon. Eventually, after much coaxing, Hagrid agreed. That night, Harry carried Norbert up to the tallest tower. Ron's brother, Charlie, had arranged to collect the dragon from the tower and return him to Romania. Once Norbert had been freed, however, Malfoy sprang his trap. Harry was caught by Professor McGonagall. For his detention, Harry was to make his way into the Forbidden Forest and search for a wounded unicorn.
Ooh, so this is where we're going now, into the Forbidden Forest.
Let's split up and search for the unicorn, Harry. The best way to find wounded unicorns is to follow a trail of silver blood. It should show up well in this moonlight. Follow the silver blood to find the unicorn. Be careful, the forest can be a dangerous place. I better go, Harry. That spoilt brat Draco is waiting with Fang. If I'm not back soon, Fang might just have him for his dinner.
Was that a joke? That's one of them things that, like, when adults speak to children and you don't know if they're joking or not. Also, this section of the game is not on the Hogwarts map, in that you can't get to it other than this part of the game. That makes no sense. Anyway, we're going to be using Incendio a lot for this bit of the game, because we need to set fire to a load of whatever they are, in order to get through the forest. I used to get stuck here a lot, but tree, R1, ooh, well, let's Rependo the fuck out of that. Tree falls down. We can run over it, but like, be careful because you can go off the sides too. You don't want to do that. Oh no, no. Also, Hagrid's moaning about following the trail. Don't worry, there's only really like one way you can go. Also, you get... First of all, I don't get why there's trolls in the forest, like, now, when they belong in the dungeon. Also, you'll see I've just got 100 red beans. This bit of the game, the forest, has loads of red beans, so if you're on like 90 or I'd even say 85, the likelihood is you're going to get to 100 beans. There's plenty in this level. Not as many as 50, I don't think, but yeah. It almost... Wow. It means it's stupid that I went back on the Peeves bit to get some extra beans. But you know, you can do. I think the dungeon beans are the hardest to collect because, well, there's no way going back to these, but there seems to be a lot more than 100, whereas with the green beans in the dungeon, it seems to be a case of there's only actually about 85 in the entire game and you've got to get 80. Slight exaggeration, but see, this will spill beans when it dies. Also collecting house points. If you go through here, you don't really need to be here. There's more beans here and a cauldron, which I'm going to mix the potion just because I find it lots of fun. You don't have to. If you need the potion as well, drink it. You probably don't. I mean, I don't. but you know, hey ho. So this is the one bit you might get lost because there's like 3 doorways, but if you just follow the silver, that is the only time you really need to follow the silver. Also, a new monster. I hate these things. They fire fire out of their bum holes, and you have to keep flippendering them until they go the right colour. So they start blue, then they go green, then they go red. Then the red one is the last one. And that'll destroy, and the fire from the dead corpse will burn a hole in a tree that you can walk through. Sorry about that. So yeah. And here's Malfoy, for the last ever time in the game.
Ah, Potter, that oaf Hagrid sent me to tell you that we haven't found the unicorn yet.
Thank you.
I doubt Hagrid could find the boots on his feet without a map. Don't get lost, Potter. Remember, these woods can be very dangerous.
I think Malfoy sounds a little bit scared, don't you? Anyway, that's the last of Malfoy for this game, so that's a plus, a massive bloody plus.
Incendio!
Fantastic. Chocolate frogs are also in abundance in this bit of the game, so have fun with those. Another turtle. Yeah, I don't really know what the technique is for dodging the fire because it bounces a few times, but just avoid it like the plague, I think, is my best advice. So this area is where we get the 17th card, so that's fun. We're nearly at the end. When you find Hagrid here, you know you're nearly at the end of the forest.
I see you found the unicorn's blood trail, Harry.
Yeah.
I don't understand what would be killing the unicorns. Never heard anything like it before.
Save the
There's
unicorns.
something in these woods that shouldn't be.
Yep,
Be
like
careful now and stay
me.
with the path. Call me if you find anything.
I haven't got your number. Yeah, there's something in these woods that shouldn't be, like an 11-year-old little boy. I appreciate that there wouldn't be a game if they didn't let Harry find stuff, but also you may have noticed that we're actually following the plot of the book now. That's the way out of the forest, or rather into the deeper forest. That's the way to end the level, is what I mean. If you go this way, however, there are some collectibles. But there's also another one of these, which it's like you've got to weigh up the options. Like, is it worth? What's greater, killing this to get the cards and beans, or completing the game? Because I really hate them turtles. Really hate them. But anyway, here we go. Through here, a couple of chocolate frogs. Use them if you need them. There's 4 more beans here, and the 17th famous witch's wizard's card. If you stand in the right place, it falls straight into your hands.
Rowena Ravenclaw.
Rowena Ravenclaw. So that's 17 out of 17 done. That's brilliant. I don't know why I'm collecting these. We've got them. Now let's get the heck out of this forest, or rather, let's go deeper into the forest, and then the game will take us out. I'm just really spoiling the game for you here. I hope you're not watching this as a blind playthrough. Incendio.
Incendio!
Also, this is quite nice, and you'll see why. It burns the 3 of them. So yeah. Although, no, fun fact, you can actually just jump up here. Let's get out of this forest then. Cutscene. It's the hooded figure. The one that we've seen ever since the tutorial section of the game. He also enchanted the flying gargoyle. We also ran into him in the dungeons twice. He made us be late for potion, oh wow, defense against dark arts class. And then he was up by the in the little nook in the dungeon. So who is he?
Harry was rescued in the nick of time by the centaur Firenze and rode on his back to safety. Firenze explained the unicorn blood had the power to keep someone alive who was an inch from death. Harry realized that the hooded figure he'd seen in the clearing was none other than he who must not be named, Lord Voldemort.
So it was him, all along. Question, how did he get into Hogwarts?
Oh, that was a close shave, Harry. Any
Hagrid hasn't
creature
had
that
a
would
shave
kill a
in
unicorn
57
and drink
years.
its blood is one to be avoided at all costs. If it was Lord
Volume
he
1.
must not be named, and you better be on your guard. He's a dangerous foe. I've got a present for you, Harry. I made it myself.
Cheers. Wait, the last time you gave us a present, Professor Snape took it off us. But this one looks quite snazzy.
Some creatures find music very relaxing. If you play the right tune, you can send them to sleep. In fact, I remember this very tune that I used to play to my Fluffy. Try it out on this barn owl I've been looking after.
That's interesting.
He needs a good long sleep.
Right, to play the flute, just follow the buttons at the right of the screen. The faster you do it, the faster he goes to sleep. Also, that looks like Hedwig
Out like
too.
a light. I wish Fluffy was as easy to send to sleep. But you'd best be getting back to your lessons now. Thanks again, Harry. You're a real friend.
Unfortunately, there are no lessons left in the game now. We've done them all, which only means one thing. We're about to complete the game.
I've been doing some reading about Nicholas Flamel, the wizard that Hagrid mentioned. He's the creator of the Philosopher's Stone. Supposedly it can grant eternal life to its user. If it's here, then maybe Snape's after it. There are even rumours that you know who's involved. We have to find a way to get past Fluffy. That must be where the stone is being kept. Ron
Definitely.
and I will meet you on the 3rd floor by the doorway that leads to Fluffy. We have to get the stone first.
We do.
Come on, Ron, let's go.
I suppose.
Ron just doesn't give any. Right, so this has dropped us outside Hagrid's hut, which is rather annoying because we need to get back to the upper castle. However, if there is anything you need to get in the game, it drops you in the grounds, so you have to go through all the grounds. You have to go past the door to the dungeons, so you can easily get in there, through the main school, and also then to Upper Castle. So it's quite convenient, but this, between now and when you go to the 3rd floor corridor, this is your last chance to get everything. So if you can, also, this is probably a great time to go and get that Albus Dumbledore card, rather than what I do, which is run out of the school when we go to the dungeons. It's but it's how you want to play it. But this, just make sure you've got everything now that you want if you decide to complete the game. Most things are still open. I see a lot of the dungeons locked, but you can go in and you can still get the wizard cards. These bits of the school are still unlocked, so it's your call. It's your call. Fantastic. So we want to go to Upper Castle. I do need to get the password for the red beans, but that's shouldn't be a problem. That's Fred and George. Oh yeah,
Nice one, Harry. You've got the beans we needed.
I
The
have.
portrait password is Wolfsbane.
Wolfsbane.
Thanks for the beans, Harry. We'll make sure they find a good home. Have you heard the rumour?
Fantastic.
There's a troll on the loose around here. Smells worse than Percy's socks, and that's saying something.
The thing with Fred and George in this game is they always seem to give you advice too little too late. Like in the castle grounds, when they say watch out for Snape, he's always poking his nose in, and he just has. Or, you know, never mind. We want to go this way. The annoying thing is there's 2 loading screens here now. They do a whole loading screen just for this little portrait room, which is unnecessary. Anyway,
Wolfsbane.
By Jupiter, you've done it, young Gryffindor.
also I like to think that this is Sir Cadogan from The Prisoner of Azkaban and the later Harry Potter books, but it probably isn't. It could be though, I don't know. Now this prize you'll either think is ridiculous or wonderful. It's an upgrade to Flipendo, and you can charge Flipendo a lot faster now. So whereas you held down the cross button to charge Flipendo, it now charges it really fast. I'm going to quickly save the game before we do anything that I might regret. Okie dokie. Right.